Hi, this is Dave Johnston with Day Trade the Markets. My partner Justin had a post that he just put on our website, and there was no video with it. And so all I wanted to do here is just kind of go through the thoughts that he's got in this in regards to a trading goal into a video. For those of you that prefer to listen to something or sort of put it on your iPod or whatever the case might be, but at least you've got it in a different media. So let me just go through some of the thoughts that he put down, and obviously these are things that we discuss in our trading room and with our members. So anyway, it starts off, do you have a trading goal, or should you? So that's kind of the title of this. So he's just put this idea about the video and so forth. So let's just talk about this whole idea about having a trading goal and what are the positives and negatives about having a trading goal. Justin is very strong in his opinion about this, and you'll find out in a moment. His varies a little bit from mine, but let's just go through his thoughts here, and I can put in my 2 cents as well. Why is a daily trading goal so appealing to people? There are several reasons. Mainly it appeals to our human need for certainty, and it's a simple concept. And we've all done the math in our heads before. Yes, I want to make X dollars per month. I just need to make X dollars per day, which is X points on X contracts and so on. And you've reached your goal. And it all sounds good. It all makes sense. It also fits in with what we're conditioned to believe makes us successful. Set a goal and therefore work to achieve that goal. Generally speaking, that's a good plan. And what's more, that works in most aspects of your life. However, trading is different. Like I mentioned above, we've been told to set a goal and then achieve it, work towards it. And this works great if you're running a business. In fact, most successful business people are successful because they are so driven. They make a decision, and then by desire or force of will, they make it happen. In other words, the more focused you are and the harder you try, the better you're likely to do. Trading, however, is different. If you try to make it happen by sheer desire, you're in for some trouble. And I can certainly attest to that personally. You can't force anything on the market. In fact, you have to turn that make it happen attitude upside down. You have to learn to be patient and let the market come to you. I certainly agree with Justin in that regard. I like to think of it like being an alligator in a swamp. An alligator just lies patiently in the waves, waiting for an easy prey. It doesn't go thrashing or crazy around the swamp, trying to catch everything in sight. Very patient, those animals. Yes, that's why so many of us as traders, we go chasing after every little thing that we see in the market. And that's a very common thing. I'm sure you can all relate to that. So how does a daily trading goal accentuate that problem? Let's take a slow, choppy day, for example. In other words, let's consider a day where there isn't a ton of opportunity. That doesn't mean you couldn't have made money. It just means there wasn't much to work with. As a matter of fact, I'm recording this on April the 2nd, 2014, and we had a very slow day in the E-mini S&P. Today, for example, it was only a 10-point range, and yet we had two excellent opportunities for day trades. I mean, there was many more, but two of our basic type entries that we had today that both worked very well. And obviously, you had to be patient to identify them and then trade them. But they're there even on a slow day with approximately a 10-point range. In fact, on these types of days, you can make a case that the best trading decision is to do nothing, to stand aside and wait for better days. But what happens if you have a daily trading goal? You're more likely going to force a trade. What happens if that trade loses? Well, you're down money and you still have to reach your trading goal. So now you're even more likely to force a trade. What happens if that trade loses? Now a disastrous day is a possibility. You force another trade, or you hold on to it too long because you need a big winner. I think you get the point. What was at the root of this bad day? Focus on your results, reaching your daily trading goal. You were focused on money. You weren't focused on the process. You weren't focused on making the best possible decision in the moment. And this is a very key feature, and one of the things that we talk a lot about is that the idea of being process oriented, not outcome oriented. And this, of course, is true particularly in sports, with both Justin and I have been pretty heavily involved in, but also in any other kind of performance activity. Trading is a performance activity. It's a little bit of a different performance activity because nobody's watching you. You're not in front of a crowd and so forth. It's a crowd of one, and that one, you have to look in the mirror to see the crowd. So it's a little bit of a different situation, but it certainly is a performance activity. More conditioned behavior. This also speaks to another conditioned behavior that most of us have, is to work hard in order to make money. So you're at your computer, you're at work trading, you need to do something, right? Otherwise, it's a wasted day. I mean, that's how a lot of us think. Well, not so fast. As traders, we don't get paid by the hour. We don't get paid by the day. We just get paid to make good decisions. If we get good at making decisions, we can get paid very, very well. Yes, we're conditioned to work for a day's pay. We're conditioned to work for our money. Plus, a daily trading goal puts the risk-reward ratio in the wrong order. Think about this for a second. Let's say you have a daily trading goal of $500 per day. It doesn't matter. It could be $50 a day or $5,000 a day. It doesn't matter, but let's use 500. What's the best you could do if you're successful and reach your goal? It's $500. What's the worst you could do unless you have a daily stop in place? Your loss is somewhat limited. So best case plus 500, worst case minus, who knows. Plus, you force yourself to trade on bad trading days, and when you force yourself to stop trading on great trading days, why would you do so? Some days the market is like all-you-can-eat buffet. Those days you don't come around all the time. So why would you want to stop yourself after just one serving? So what's the answer? Ultimately, the answer is to find a strategy that works for you. If having a daily trading goal works for you, well, that's great. I know for some people it does, and they are able to manage the downside of that particular type of plan. However, in our opinion, it makes more sense to not focus on the results, not on the money, and by definition, if your focus is a daily goal, you're focused on the money. Instead, focus on making the best possible decision in the current moment. Focus on staying in flow with the market. This might mean the best decision is not to take a trade. That might mean the best decision is to hold on to a winner longer than what feels comfortable because the evidence is telling you there is no reason to bail on the trade. That might mean taking another trade because the evidence tells you that you have an edge, even if you already have a nice profit for the day. It also means focusing on your inner self and being aware of how you feel. Some days you just don't have it. Maybe you have another life event that's taken your attention away from the trading. Some days you're just not in flow with the market. But have the awareness to be able to step away. This is another thing that we talk a lot about in our trading room because, if you're just not feeling well, for whatever reason, you've been distracted at home or some other event in your life, or you didn't sleep well, you might be feeling a little under the weather, whatever it is, if you're not really with it, you really can't perform up to par. Otherwise, you're going to be forcing the issue, and of course, that's when we tend to make mistakes. And finally, try not to be defined by the clock. When you're trading, by that I mean a couple of things. One, if you can get rid of the day-by-day idea of profit and loss, that will help. Yes, it's hard to do when you get your daily P&L statements, but if you can instead begin to define success by your trading decision-making rather than by your daily P&L, and then you'll be well on your way. In other words, every day when you get up and you're going to go trade, your goal really should be to be in step with the market and to try and make those good trading decisions. It's not to, make X number of dollars or whatever the case might be. It really is to just try and be in step with the market. The second thing here is not to worry too much about each trade. Because some people do better trading 1 or 2 hours, some people do better trading the whole day. The key is to trade well, it's to make good decisions for however long you're trading. There's certainly some traders out there that like to trade for maybe the first couple of hours of the session when it's really busy, because their style kind of lends itself to that. Other traders really like the day to kind of set up and then, kind of make sense of the day and then get into a trade perhaps midday or even later. Some traders like for 2/3 of the day to go by before they're actually ready to go ahead and make a trade. So, you got to kind of find out what really is working for you, and I know that takes time. But if you do focus on the process, you're going to be much, much better off. So just want to thank you for reading this post. As you can see here, he's written. Um, and then just finally, if you have any further questions about this, and perhaps even how our software might help you increase your edge, how it may or may not work for you or anything else, just don't hesitate in contacting us. You can contact Justin or myself, Dave Johnston, at info@daytradethemarket. So I hope this little bit has helped you in your trading, and all the best. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.